Alright. Hello and welcome to anyone watching this past, present, or future. And welcome to sort of a different stream. So, basically this week is going to be sort of a cool down from Pokemon. Mostly because I just finished a Rock type only run, a Pokemon Sword, and I'm working on a Pokemon related project in the background. So I want to give myself a little bit of time where I'm not streaming and just having myself burn out. So until I sort of resolve what I'm going to be doing after, I thought this week would be sort of funky. So tonight I am going to give you essentially a very glorified pitch to a fan fiction that I have not wrote, but I think it'd be really cool. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that tonight. Later in the week, we're gonna be doing some Nier Automata. That's right, we're going back to Nier Automata, specifically 9S's story, because I couldn't think of anything else. So I thought, hey, why not play Nier? So then some of my friends would be very happy that I'm playing Nier. Yeah. Alright, so why don't we get over Magic Pan, and let's get rid of miscellaneous loading. Also, if I sound off at all, I do have a cold. So, just keep that in mind if you hear any rogue sneezes or tissue blowing. That is just the dear wizard boy's got a bit of a cold. Also, I look very small. More. It's better? Yeah, it's better. Alright. So, let me get the interwebs ready. Alright. I don't think I have that visible. Oh, I do. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna see how that looks on stream, because sometimes... Alright, brother. I'm gonna try and move you. Yeah, that's right, interwebs. I'm gonna move you. You, insatiable you. A little bit, just a little. There we go. That's hopefully good. Let's see. That's better. That's probably gonna be good enough. Alright, so this is Pan's ramblings of a pitch for a DC team. Because you know what? I have a bit of passive fixation on DC stuff, specifically a lot of their animated works, because I really feel like that's where DC Comics can shine, and they're not bound by like the deep comic lore that's very unapproachable. Oh fuck yeah, we got the boing! The boing is here to hear all my funny times. We got a boing in hell. Not to be confused with a boing in hell, it's a boing and hell. You DC posted by Marvel fans. Hey man, I do not control the fixations, my guy. I know I really like Marvel when I was younger, but I realized I only like a very select few Marvel characters. But I feel like DC's a bit simple, but like it's got some good shit. I like DC is a lot more fixation food for my brain. So I've tended to fixate on that more. Oh fuck, we're taking the cape off tonight. No, I see. We're doing no capes tonight. We're doing superheroes, no capes. Oh, wrong thing. See you. Well, no cape. You know what? We can zoom out a bit. Zoom out a bit so you can see full no cape action. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't have to justify to you. You know the DC stuff. So, what kind of team are we looking for? So the team that I'm gonna be making tonight is very much inspired off of like a Teen Titans or Young Justice-like team. Because what I really like about these teams is that they're not the main players. Because I think the thing with like a lot of the main, like Justice League, like a team, like superheroes in DC is that like they're done. Like you could still do a lot of cool things with them or a lot of cool retellings, but I feel like with them, stakes sometimes feel like really fucking high if you're gonna make it feel worthy of the Justice League, and as such the expectations feel a lot higher. Again, it's of characters we are very, very, very familiar with, and I really like it when DC throws those like weird curveballs, like wah, look at that. Do you know this character exists? Well, it does! And that's just the vibe I really like about the Teen Titans teams. It gives spotlights to more obscure characters, or sometimes it goes like, where did this character come from? We made it the fuck up! And I like that. I like that a lot. So here's the pitch, right? I'm gonna placeholder for these guys are the Misfits. So because we're always gonna need like a known character, right? We're gonna have Jason Todd be a sort of a familial character for people. Basic lowdown of who the fuck Jason Todd is. Jason Todd was the second Robin, got fucking murked by the Joker via crowbar. And then got resurrected, because it's comics, you could always do that in comics, and essentially, Jason went under the alias of the Red Hood, and was like, fuck you, old man! I'll kill people and use guns, because man, I have death trauma, my guy, I want to kill the Joker! And Batman going, no, you can't do that, you can't be like them. That whole ordeal. But that's basically the gist of Jason Todd. Very much angsty problem child. Just a very bitter anti-hero. So, this sort of starts off as like Jason Todd, as the Red Hood, is like doing some vigilante justice. Like he isn't being like, oh, I'm gonna take these guys to jail. It's like, nah, I'm gonna fucking murk these guys for justice. Essentially, an arms deal gone bad, and Nightwing sort of catches him because, you know, Jason Todd has done a lot of killing, and probably a lot of illegal firearms. Nightwing essentially goes, alright, dude, I'm gonna reward you, Jason. Batman's fucking up to here with you. And essentially it's like, it's either gonna be you go to fucking superhero jail, like you go to jail with all the people that you continuously like beat up and the like, or you help out some troubled youths. That's right, you could be a youth counselor to superheroes, because you've had your angst, you have experience on the field, and, you know, maybe you could help these guys out. And, you know, you could, like, you know, Jason Todd will begrudgingly accept this because he doesn't want to go to fucking jail. He didn't come back to life to serve jail time. So he begrudgingly does it, maybe out of some, like, fine, I'll do it. You know, sort of tsundere vibes. So, Jason Todd here, the Red Hood, is gonna be like a team leader for some of these this ragtag group of people. He's gonna be sort of like the grouchy uncle type, where like he's not gonna be the standard mentor of like morals or anything. He's like, all right, kids, you wanna know how you fucking do this? I'll show you how you fucking do it. Oh fuck, cravat too? Oh fuck, guys. You're making me steamy tonight. No cravat. No cravat. We are just, I am a simple fancy man today. You could see the full ponytail tonight. Yeah, Jason Todd would be the guy who'd be like, hey kids, he'd be the type like, do you want fucking weed? I can get you weed. Do you need weed to chill the fuck out? Here you go. Have a fucking joint, alright? Just don't fucking worry about it. You stripped me down to my fancy clothes. You stripped me down to my fancy chill clothes. You stripped me from my Miles Edgeworth clothes to my I'm depressed Alucard clothes. But yeah, Jason Todd's basically gonna be the grouchy uncle, the person who's like sort of like tough looking guy with a heart of gold who sees these kids as people with misfortune and sort of understands how like Batman saw some kid trying to steal his fucking tires and decided, I'll help this guy out. He sort of goes through that whole life lesson thing. He also still uses a lot of fucking guns. A lot of guns and firearms. He's told many times, he's told several times by Nightwing, you can't use fucking guns. Here, I'll give you rubber bullets. And he goes, yeah, cool. No, I'll just shoot for the legs. I'll shoot for the shoulder and the legs. It'll be fine. Besides, most of the meta guys, they don't they can take a gunshot. They can take a few gunshots. Depends on the kind of day, honestly. I feel like Jason Todd throughout the story will have several like. It really is gonna be, if he says it's rubber, it's rubber. If he says it's real, it's real. And it's like a Schrodinger's bullet. Is it a rubber bullet or is it a real bullet? We'll find out if it just kills a man. So, one of the other party members is going to be... Party members, I talk like it's a fucking D&D party. One of the other members of the team is going to be Raven. Because Raven is... So, okay. I just want to go on a tangent here. Because, like, you know... I've watched a few Teen Titans-esque media. Some of them aren't good. But some of them are. And I think some of the best takes of Raven is when Raven is an empath. Because when I see Raven from like the Teen Titans cartoon, she's very well written, and I don't want to shit talk here. But like she seems a lot more aloof. Like yes, she wants to help people out, but it seems to be more in like a sort of tsundere-esque way, where it's like, yeah, I'll help you out, just don't make a deal about it. And like that's not the wrong vibe for Raven. But even when I watched Titans, which by the way is a live-action, gritty live-action series based off Teen Titans, it's not good. I didn't even finish the season. But one of the best things I saw from that show is generally how they characterize Raven. Well, not even characterize Raven. More just explore the idea of Raven. Oh, I have 5 rubber bullets and I have 5 real bullets and 1 rubber bullet. Think you're You think I just fired 4 shots, leaving 2 bullets left spinning in the barrel? Dude, yeah. Yeah, no, he'd fucking pull a Dirty Harry. Yeah, no, I think the best take of Raven is Raven being, like, an empath. Someone who very much understands other people's emotions, even if it's at the detriment of herself. Like, I really like that vibe of the Raven who's able to not only have to carry her own burdens, but also carry the burdens of everyone else, and still have to move around and act. I don't know, there's something very harrowing about that, especially when she may be able to, like, you know, see great detail of, like, people's trauma and still be able to, like, in the moment, try to help out a situation as best she can. I don't know, I think that's great, and I want to see that. I want to see that. I want her to you know, not only deal with her own struggles, but also go through other people's struggles and try to help them as she's trying to help herself. And you may be asking, like, well, what is Raven even asking help for? Well, she's the daughter of Trigon, very horrible demon man, basically Satan, would not recommend making a deal with him. And Trigon is trapped on the gem on her forehead. This is something that I saw in the DC animated films, which are very hit or miss. But I really do like that aspect of the fact that her demon father is just on the gem on her head and continuously trying to escape. Like, through some means he's trying to escape, either through the weaknesses of his own daughter, trying to exploit those, or through, you know, trying to have cults and everything. But I don't know, I think that's really cool because you could see her trying to... Because this is how you could see her try to deal with her own struggles, or even the idea that, like, she may be more, the idea of, like, so you know in, like, cartoons where they have, like, the episode where a character just can't say no? Oh my god, that'd be, like, such a cool idea of, like a small arc, or, small arc of Raven trying to help everyone else's issues, but in turn ignoring her own, leaving her vulnerable to, like, Trigon powers or demonic influence. Oh, that's so good, because that could lead to her having some serious burnout. Yes! No, I guess I like Raven. I want her to be very empathetic, and also just, she's tired, but she's trying her fucking best. Alright, and some things we're gonna have Raven do, she's gonna have some basic, like, dark magic powers, you know, like the phasing through walls, summoning, you know, just vague telekinesis, and, you know, basically magic bullshit. Being a borderline psychic, because I like her, you know, empath powers, sort of manifesting in more esoteric ways, because I feel like that's the best way to describe Raven. A lot of her abilities are esoteric or mystical in nature, so basically it leads to, like, her maybe involuntarily experiencing, like, visions or moments of other people's past, or even, like, things that other people associate with their strong emotions. Like, it's involuntary, and she has to, you know, it'd be a good narrative device, and also a way to you know, have people just, you know, feel for Raven, because, like, she has to do that. It happens with everyone that she's around. And because I also really like this idea. I saw this a little bit in the DC animated films, of her being a healer. Like, that's maybe, like, a way how she can use her own her own arcane magical abilities to, like, repair other people, you know, and make it also stand out that that's an ability that she can do, and only she can do, through her own magic, instead of, like, the magic from her father, which some people may think comes from, or maybe she thinks she's insecure about the fact that, like, Trigon's the only reason she has, like, her real power, right? So there's that. Next, we're gonna have Blue Beetle, because me and the homies love Blue Beetle. Ever since I saw him in Raven the Bold, he's been a real good guy. I'm glad he's gotten a bit of attention, but not as much attention as he did, like, around the New 52. Which is a shame, because Blue Beetle's a really cool How goth is my Raven? That's a good question. I think my Raven is pretty goth. I think, because I'm trying to think in, like, this scale, like, what levels of goth is this Raven gonna be? Because I don't think it's gonna be Titans level goth. That is like, that's going on towards the emo spectrum. But I do think Raven's gonna be pretty darn goth, because, like, one, I think it's gonna be how her story is told through more goth, like, more macabre sort of imagery and, like, you know, visions. But does she listen to Ramblroma? You bet your ass she does, dude. Raven, my interpretation of Raven is very much the type of person who's like, I have so many feelings, and they'll be kept right in here, and one day I'll die. And also it's like, hey Raven, what are you listening to? You just puts on the headphones on your head. You hear loud, very emotional metal music. Like, I definitely feel like Raven's the type of person who has a lot of emotions, but tries actively not to express or act on them. And she sort of sees those moments as, like, weaknesses, you know, like acting out, lashing out. But, like, dude, she totally would listen to Rammstein as she, like, meditates. Like, that's how you fucking find Zen. If you can have emotional outbursts everywhere while, like, zenning out, it's perfect. It's also perfect to block out the intrusive thoughts of your father saying, you're not good enough, you can't contain me forever, I fucking hate you, you're an poor excuse of a daughter, let me out of here, let me out of here, let me out of here. Feeling a little attacked. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. That's how it is. No, definitely. This Raven bounces between, like, heavy metal, like, very edgy metal music to, like, fucking Voltaire and maybe some tasteful emo music. Alright. I appreciate that was a very important question, though. That did have to be addressed in this press conference. So, next, I'm looking directly at Blue Beetle, my absolute boy, my absolute lad. So, for some reason, Blue Beetle got a really big spike in attention around the early 2010s because he was a part of the New 52. Essentially, that was like DC's attempt to just hard reboot, just make this completely approachable to a lot of people. We're getting out a lot of cartoons right now to start the canon fresh, so we can introduce a lot of people into it. And trust me, as one of the people that did try to read some of the New 52, like specifically Green Lantern, because I really like Green Lantern, it only made things more confusing, because they did use things from the old canon, and had some knowledge that you should know from the old canon. But I'm not here to rant about Green Lantern, the New 52, and why it has Sinestro's Green Lantern, and expects you to know about the Indigo Corps. No, I'm not here for that. We're going to talk about Blue Beetle. So, what's the deal? What's the deal, my boy Jaime? Jaime Reyes. So, Jaime Reyes is literally just some fucking guy. Like, he's this Hispanic teen who's just absolutely vibing. There's a meteor that comes down. He goes to investigate, like every person in science fiction does. And whoops, there's this blue scarab looking thing that just yoinks itself onto his back, embedding into his spine, and enables him to turn into, gives him a cool mech suit every now and then, with cool weapons like mantis swords, like a sonic beam, flight, the works. Like, if you could think of anything, this suit's like a jack of all science traits. He's gonna be our tech guy in that sense. Now, Jaime is just some guy who wants to vibe. He's a normie, right? This scarab is an alien weapon that simply wants the Earth to be safe. Now, this does not mean the scarab wants the people on Earth to be safe. It simply wants the planet itself to be kept intact. So, as such, this leads to some struggles, such as Jaime trying to do heroic acts, but maybe the scarab will act on its own and try to do the more direct solution. Like killing people, when that's not the goal. Like, things like, Jaime, this is presenting a problem, I'm going to get rid of it, I'm taking control. So it's a real man versus machine type dynamic. And living life through this can be pretty difficult, especially if you're like, say you meet a crush and your heart races. The scarab goes, I've noticed your heart rate has gone up. I will get out the sonic beam and deal with the threat. It's like, no, dude, no! I'm just horny, shut up! Dude, shut up! Just shut up, my guy. Calm down. So, it can lead to antics like that, or antics like if they're trying to go for a mission where they need someone alive, or, they don't want to kill anyone, because, under Jason's watch, they're not supposed to kill anyone. So, that could lead to some wacky antics of the machine trying to take over and trying to get rid of the solutions easily while trying to protect its host. If it is not a case of the planet will be fucking destroyed, or a huge section of it. However, while doing this, Jaime is very concerned about how this is going to, affect his life after this, because at this point, Jaime has the suit, which encourages him to protect others, and it's not that he doesn't want to protect others, but also he's slowly getting a distance from his family and friends, because this suit acts on its own. He's probably had many incidences where the suit has maybe almost harmed people close to him because of very, very minor instances that the suit assumes to be aggressive. And as such, he has to keep his distance from, normal people. And he starts, as the story goes on, sort of miss out on just being a kid, being some teenager, absolutely vibing, but he can't remove the scarab or else it'll fucking kill him because it's hacked to his spine, so it causes a little bit of a problem, little bit of an issue. So you have this struggle of not only man versus machine, but, being a hero out of more obligation as opposed to choice, wishing that he'd rather have normalcy. That this burden is almost put upon him, which could be good. That's right, we're rounding it back to the other people. Rounding it back to Jason, who was always poor. He never had good luck. And even then, he was killed by the Joker, something completely out of his control, and then once again brought back to life. So, something that he felt like he had no control in, even with his more quest of vengeance to kill the Joker, he felt like, he was out of control, something he can relate to Jaime. And seeing that, like, oh yeah, not everyone wants to be a fucking, person of power. And Raven, of course, could relate, being that she, is also burdened with this power because, Demon Dad forehead gem. Oh, excuse me. So, Yeah, I don't know. I really like this theme of like burdened with power. You're suffering from success. So yeah, yeah. Now, Jaime's not the only one who has something from space, because you know what? I like parallels, bitch. Um, so I thought, you know what? I've really fixated. Oh, thank you, Boingo. Thank you for the hydrate. So I have had a fixation on Green Lantern in the past because I think the concept of the Green Lantern is pretty cool. How the idea that the ring can basically manifest, any kind of construct you can think of, and I like the whole lore of the rings, of the different emotional spectrum. I just think it's neat. But I was kind of thinking, okay, well, if I were to include a Green Lantern, who would I include? I wouldn't include Hal, because Hal is kind of just some white guy, and that's pretty much it. He's kind of snarky, but if you have the Flash in the group, why do you need Hal? This is news to me. What? I didn't know that, but I'm not gonna let that affect my pitch. But I was thinking of Kyle, but no one gives a shit about Kyle, and I think that's okay. There's John Stewart. There's Guy Gardner, Guy Gardner's fun, but I don't think I could reasonably make him just a young guy, like a troubled youth, because I feel like the big appeal of Guy Gardner is that he's like some guy in his late 20s, early 30s, some chuckle fuck from Boston, and just like is the jackass of the Green Lantern Corps. And I found out about Jessica Cruz about a year ago when going through a big binge of DC animated films. Because I didn't keep up with Green Lantern, so I didn't know they made another Green Lantern. But I really like her gimmick. I mean, you're not wrong, but damn, give Kyle some credit. He's a White Lantern now. I mean, yeah, I guess he is. But there's also a reason why you don't see shit about Kyle Rayner. Like, I get that he's supposed to be not as gung-ho as Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart or Guy Gardner, but I don't know. I feel that Kyle just kind of seems a bit spineless from my vibe check. I never really got a cool vibe from Kyle, which is a shame because I think you could do someone who's not cool and make them cool by sheer determination and the will to have Kyle's only relevant because Jeff Johns wanted to focus on Hal. You know what? That's a really valid take, and I'll take that. As much as Jeff Johns did make a lore system that was very much fixation bait and hooked me hook, line, and sinker, I sure don't think he's the best writer when I look about it in retrospect. And yeah, if you pick Hal Jordan as like your main Green Lantern, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You do you like white bread? Do you like just eating white bread? Because that's what you get. Okay, so there's an alternate universe where everyone is opposite morality. Evil Superman, evil Batman, with the evil Green Lantern is called Power Ring. The ring abuses... Oh, dear. Abuses the user. The OG user dies, and the ring went to her. Ah, cool. Hahaha, cool. Well, you see, tuna's different than just the fuck off white bread, alright? Because, like, also, alright. Time to shit talk Hal Jordan, right? Like, do I like the Green Lantern animated series? Yes. Is it because of Hal? Not really. Hal is just trying to be Tom Cruise in fucking Top Gun, and that's his personality. He, like, there's a reason why the Green Lantern movie fucking flopped. And honestly, I think besides scripting and a lot of its writing issues, I think it was the fact that they chose Hal Jordan, who, like, thing with Hal is I get the sense that he's confident and that gives him his power, and, like, you know, he gets to be lighthearted and, like, kind of a smart ass, but, like, I don't get the sense that he's, like, ride or die, which is what I feel like a big vibe of, like, the Green Lantern ring is, like, all about. But anyway, Jessica Cruz. So Jessica Cruz is a recent Green Lantern, and, you know, it's another fucking human on Earth. It's like a big debacle for, like, all the whole Lantern Corps, going, Jesus Christ, why has it been over the last, like, 40 years? They've all been going to Earth. They've all been, like, we have like 3 Guardians for Earth sector alone. I get there's a metahuman problem, but come on. Oh, any character could be a great character if they know how to write them good. I just don't think I've seen anyone write how good. But we're going on Jessica now. I'm not gonna shit talk on Hal because I'll never get through any of this. So Jessica Cruz is a recent Green Lantern, and this is a surprise to her when she knows what the Green Lantern ring does, because she has recently been through quite a bit of trauma. Now, I'm taking this story a lot from, I believe, it was a Justice League movie that I think it was like it was something 5. Basically, she had a traumatic incident seeing one of her friends killed because of a petty robbery. No, wait. No, I think if that's Interaction. No. Biggest stream dedicated to shit-talking Hal. I don't have the energy to shit-talk Hal for 3 hours. But basically, she was in a hike. I think she was on the camping trip, and essentially saw someone trying to get rid of some bodies, right? From an unfortunate incident, leading them to try and hunt them down for no witnesses. And in that moment of trying to escape, that's when she gets the ring. No. Wait. See, this is me trying to remember the story and trying to think of which is better. So I think she finds the person trying to dig these dead bodies, tries to run, a lot of gunshots, and barely escapes her life, basically going down a cliff. And just sort of hiding and essentially faking her death to this individual. And shortly after, the Green Ring comes to her. And she has... First off, she's already an anxious mess. Like, even before the ring, she's the type of person who would never dance in any kind of, like, high school dance. She's kind of, like, in the corner, regretting that she's even here, but felt like she kind of had to, because it wasn't even that all her friends were there. It's just kind of expected that, like, teenagers have to go here, and she really doesn't like it, but she can't really do anything about it because she spent money. She's not going to waste that money. You know, she thinks about those kind of things. She'd rather be in the corner with the dog, petting it. So she already has her own anxiety issues, and now she's got post-trauma now, after, you know, being almost hunted down in the dead of night by man trying to get rid of bodies. You know, she struggles with just general mental health issues, and sort of questions if she is worthy of the ring, if she is the right person to do it, because she sometimes can barely get out of bed in the morning without, like, someone, like, essentially dragging her out, or, you know, something massive getting her out. So it's sort of like this story of her trying to, you know, get up on her feet and keep on enduring despite these invisible walls that she is stuck in and still pursuing forward. I think in particular, I think Raven and Jessica could have some really cool interactions, especially we could see Raven being the one having to talk to Jessica about ways to cope. Like, not being a therapist, but more like, hey, here's what I've done to try and help out with that. And I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's another way. It's also really cool for Jessica and Jaime could like team up, do some like space adventures every now and then. I think that would be pretty cool, because I feel like there's like a certain categories that need to be checked off in a DC group. Like you gotta have like the guy, like he is just some guy. He doesn't have the powers. You gotta have the magic person, right? You gotta have the mystic person so you can get all the demons and magic bullshittery, you know, mischief and the like. You need your tech guy, your person with a mech suit or some sort of technology, smart powers. You're gonna need your space person so you can get aliens involved. And we could do it with both, but I think it's just fits a different niche. And lastly, we're going with Wonder Girl. Now, there's a few Wonder Girls, but I went to, oh fuck. Alright, that one's not showing. I want to show Cassandra absolutely vibing. Alright, I hope that shows Cassandra absolutely vibing. Alright. So you may ask, so there's a few Wonder Girls in the DC canon. But I went with Cassandra because, one, I think she looks cooler. And you see this picture? Absolutely vibing. And I think she'd be the ray of sunshine this party fucking needs. Because alright, like, we got grouchy uncle who'll let you smoke weed to chill the fuck out, let you shoot guns, to vent out your rage. Like, probably just be like, hey, you know what? No, we're fucking centerless. Beat the shit out of me. Come on. Try to beat the shit out of me. Go ahead. You know, we've got Goth. We've got Guy trying his best. Maybe having some temperamental issues here and there, just from being very frustrated from his position. Mental illness. And like, nah, Cassandra's here to fucking absolutely be vibing. She is the heart of the group. And I don't really know much about Wonder Girl. And because whenever I see something that has Wonder Girl, whether it be Donna Troy or Cassandra, I have no fucking idea what they do, because they never give her attention. So, you know what? Can it be damned? I'm God here. This is my pitch. And I get to decide what happens to my Wonder Girl. So, Wonder Girl is a demigod, sort of a counterpart to Raven, who's more of a demi-fiend in that sense. And she's the daughter of Ares, because technically she's an Amazon. And, okay, so, hi, this is the part where I become Charlie fucking Day. So one thing I really like about the concept of the Amazons, like, right, like in the mythology, right? The Amazons are the daughters of Ares. They are the mortals. They are the mortal demigods of war. They are the motherfuckers who are the ultimate soldiers, unstoppable force. And I don't know. I like the idea of having Ares have bigger part other than, I'm evil and I'm here to cause war. Because, like, war is bad, but, like, my guy, Wonder Woman would not exist without Ares, alright? Like, the thing is that, yeah, Ares can be fucked up, but I don't like him being the sole antagonist, Like, if anything, I think Hera is a more appropriate antagonist for things when it goes to Greek mythology, because she is the actively most antagonistic character. Maybe Demeter if it's specifically around Hades, or you could like Ares can be antagonistic, but I really feel like if it's on the bad side of Ares, but yeah. So she's a demigod of Ares, and she has recently awakened. Like, she has very recently just found out she has this demigod like strength. She gets like standard things. She gets like the super strength. She gets flight because apparently Wonder Woman can fly. So it's like, okay, I guess she can fly too. I guess. God, it makes it so funny because everyone but Jason can fly. And the thing is, have you all seen Hercules? Disney's 1997's classic Hercules? Well, Cassandra is Hercules in like the first 5 minutes, like this first 5 minutes of young Hercules, of just being an absolute bull in a china shop. Cannot control her strength. He basically woke up one morning, had the strength of a god, and does not know how to hold back. So that's why she's here, because she is very reckless, very confident, and basically, please no collateral damage, Cassandra. None of us want that. So, that's what we're here for. Try to help her out there. So, now that we've sort of got the main cast here, I want to talk about some reoccurring characters or allies that I would love to see here. Try and talk about, to sort of come and go, be either friends or sort of frenemies of our cast. And we're going to go in a similar order than we did last time. So, Nightwing, we talked a little bit about Nightwing earlier. Excuse me. And first off, I really like Nightwing. I think he's one of my favorite Robins. But I kind of wanted to give Jason Todd a bit more credit, because I like the idea of Jason Todd actually being a bit more heroic than just edgy anti-hero. Like, he gets to be edgy anti-hero, but he gets to also get a heart of gold. So, Nightwing, I imagine, is more of the anchor for Jason. Like, there's probably going to be times where Jason's going to go a bit too far, going to veer off to his old habits, and he's going to need someone to anchor him down. And he's not going to have, he's not going to have Batman, because he doesn't fucking want Batman. Instead, Nightwing is going to be the one who sort of comes in and tries to talk through things with him. Especially because he wants to have a good relationship with Jason, seeing him as someone who could be his brother, especially because I like to imagine he probably, started to become Nightwing around the time Jason started and likely got fucking murked. So it kind of feels like, I didn't really get to know him, and I want him to be better. Even if he's gonna drive me knucking futz. He's also gonna be the person who's mostly gonna be giving the missions. He's gonna be sort of like what a Young Justice would be for the Batman for the Young Justice group in the first season, or he's basically the type that's hey guys, I got this job for you. You guys need to do this, and here's sort of your mission, right? That's basically his common role. But also to anchor Jason down, especially with some attempt to be lighthearted, but genuinely understanding some blights of being a fellow Robin. Now, someone who I want to be a reoccurring character is John Constantine. Because you know what? I just like John Constantine. I'm gonna add him in here. It's my story, and I get to choose who stays. So John Constantine is he's one of the best exorcists in the world, and he is an absolute drunk asshat. He is the guy who, he made a few deals with the devil and ended up alright for him for now. Probably has sold his soul several times. In fact, he has sold his soul to Trigon, and he wants to keep tabs to make sure that Trigon is definitely not fucking in there. Is definitely in that fucking gem. So basically, I guess imagine John being a character who shows up for Raven every now and then. Oh god, my mic! Oh god, that probably sounded horrible. My knee essentially dragged my mic almost off the desk. So I hope you didn't hear too much of a thud. But yeah, so Constantine is basically going to be sort of just like be around Raven quite a bit and trying to just catch up with her. And I feel like it would be a great way for, like, if the plot needed Raven to learn anything magical, or, like, if Raven has something outside of her experience, Constantine would be, like, I can imagine, like, little bits of Raven trying to, like Constantine trying to weasel out, and Raven just be like, just fucking do it. It's like, you know what, fine, alright? No, I'll help you with this thing, but just this one time. And it ends up he just helps him out because he just ends up getting a soft spot for this, like, for this goth dork. But yeah, no. Basically, he's gonna be like the I need a guy for magic stuff. I know a guy who owes me a few favors by proxy. Oh no. Oh no, everyone heard me farted and I zipped down. It was that powerful. No, it wasn't. That's a joke, please. But yeah, Constantine is just gonna be around for a bit. Like, usually when Raven is not expecting him, just like, alright, still in the fucking gym? Alright. Hey, you're not fucking up anyway, are you? Like, maybe teach her some things to be like, alright, I don't want you to fucking unleash a fucking demon on me, alright? Because if it does, he's gonna try and get my soul, and I don't fucking want to deal with that shit, not one bit. He can maybe be a guy that shows up sometimes if Raven loses control, sort of be like the person who has to like tie things up, but like maybe you can only do it so much, you know, sort of our safety blanket for Raven situations. Now, one thought I had when I was making this PowerPoint, literally within 2 hours before stream, I was thinking, okay, I want like a character parallel for all the characters so that we have someone for everyone to sort of go to. And I remember Booster Gold from Batman Brave and the Bold, and I really like the vibe of Booster Gold. So Booster Gold is essentially a man from the future, and he is like the biggest star around. He's got like some tech. He's basically like a tech hero. He's got like blasters. He could fly, but he's all glitz and glamour. He's all about like the publicity. He's really a big hero because he makes himself a big deal. He's got those connections. He's very lovable to the people. Very big celebrity superhero. And I think a big thing that could be really fun. Oh. The uncle that hangs out with the kids only to keep an eye on his console. Yeah, no, that's basically John. Like, just make sure, like, alright, yeah, okay, it's all good. That's all good. Alright, I want to get the fuck out of here. But yeah, Booster Gold, he's from the future, and it's far future. And he hears about an incident that was way in the past, like 1,000 years ago, of Earth being destroyed by these several scarabs. And he thinks, aha! I think I found my biggest gig yet. And he goes back in time, so he doesn't just become the biggest superhero in the 31st century. No, he gets to be the biggest superhero that is recorded. in history as someone who saved the world from this devastating invasion before it even happens. So, as such, Booster Gold is not a... I say he's more of a chuckle fuck. Like, he gets to hero, but he's definitely more... It's like fake wrestling in the future. You know, it's all corporatized. Everything's like pseudo-rigged. He knows what to expect. He gets paid for it. Here, I feel like he looks for the glory of heroism to like take down the Scarab, but he may not recognize what exactly the Scarab is because he doesn't really research it. Like, his deepest knowledge is essentially Google searching what is Scarab. And I like the idea of him at one point essentially like it's first starting off as like a person trying to hunt down Blue Beetle, but maybe him and Blue Beetle get into a situation where they're like backs are pinned against each other and they have like a mutual respect, and so like Booster Gold will essentially have like a friendly rivalry with him as he's trying to get popularity in the 21st century. He's essentially like, no one can take you down but me, Booster Gold! And he's never gonna take him down, but he's gonna help against like this upcoming invasion with the Scarabs, and it's a good way for Jaime to learn what the fuck the Scarab is. And I don't know, I just really like the idea of having Booster Gold, because you know what, I like having my Chunklefuck himbo, who thinks he's hot shit, alright? I know he's got a big thing in Infinite Crisis, but I never read it, so I'll never know. He's my Booster Gold, actually. I saw him from Batman Brave and the Bold. Now, I was thinking for Jessica that for her Green Lantern mentor, I'm gonna actually blow my nose real quick. It's a run-in. Oh. There we go. There's the mucus. So, what I'm thinking for Jessica's sort of mentor is Jon Stewart. I know we can't fully see Jon Stewart. Apparently OBS wants to redact him. So that's our loss. But essentially I imagine Jon Stewart is sort of being the Justice League representative while Guy and Hal are going around doing the general galactic cop stuff. Excuse me. John is the one actively the main protector of Earth currently, working with the Justice League, and is often busy with more galactic or big game stuff. So I feel like it's an occasional thing where like maybe he'll check up on Jessica to see like how she's holding up, because he knows that like, hey, you seem to be having a rough time. I've seen a lot of people in my line of work, because he used to be in the army, have something like what you're going through. You doing good? And I feel like it's maybe not the most understanding advice or love. Like, I think it will definitely be flawed, but well-meaning advice. Like, the kind of advice that a dad will give you, but they're kind of like, well, you just gotta push through it. You got distracted. You looked away. That's why you gotta be paying attention to our chat, so you can see funny spiders. But I like the idea of him essentially being like this father figure who he gives advice of like, you know, essentially like, you gotta push through it, you just gotta get better, you don't gotta let the past hold you down. And it's not the worst advice, it means well, but it doesn't really apply to her, you know? Like, she wants to take it genuinely, but it kind of forms this like mixed feelings of, yes, this is good, like, this could be good advice, but there's a way with these problems that I need to solve and I need to find my own way. I don't think pulling myself off my bootstraps is the way to do it. It may have worked for you, but it doesn't work for me. And I have to find out what that is. And I don't know, I think that could be a cool way to sort of talk about trauma through different perspectives and how people deal with it differently, and how, you know, some people try to help, but it isn't always most helpful. Yeah, he's gonna be really awkward at first. Like, it's very sincere, and it's very much like what a tough dad would try to give. And again, it's not bad advice. It just isn't advice that works for her. And just sort of like, I imagine, again, I just like seeing these little scenes of them interacting and trying to both understand what works for her and how she can move on through this, and maybe relay some experiences that John may relay experiences he's had, and sort of, again, pick up from things as well as her own experiences. I don't know, I think this would be like a sweet, but very like, it's sweet because they'll eventually have an understanding. It's rough at first, but really smooths out. Lastly, I couldn't get Aries in a business suit. That's what I really wanted, but my laptop hated downloading an image from a wiki, so I got an actual picture of Aries. So Aries. So I like to imagine Aries is, once again, we're having a dad figure here, and Aries will essentially appear in dreams for Cassandra, and essentially be like a very excited sports dad who sees their kid has a lot of potential, and it's like, yes! You did it! You won! Like, for like the first big superhero fight, Aries is gonna come down and be like, yes, Cassandra, that's my girl! You kicked that guy's ass, yes! You know, he is a frat dad wanting her to be as good as he is in his prime, and be this absolute champion. He, however, being a Greek god, incredibly fickle. Like, there's the real highs and lows of your dad being Aries, right? Like, sometimes if you just brute force your way, do something, like if Cassandra does something buck wild, like absolutely beat the shit out of someone, senseless, do some cool moves, Aries will be like, yes! Cassandra, that was so cool! There's a reason why you're gonna be my favorite Amazon, alright? You're like a champion to beat. You're even gonna beat Diana, I bet. Like hyping her up. And we'll give her, like, maybe some boons, like some items like what would be, like, her own sort of lasso, or the gauntlets to block bullets, or maybe some items of her own, maybe like a cool sword or something. But he also is incredibly petty, right? Like, maybe sometimes she chooses to be peaceful, and Aries decides to be like, oh, I see. You don't need my great gifts? Fine. Don't take them. I'll just bring them back for a little bit. See how much you really don't need your pop's power. And this could maybe be like, maybe one of her magic items are gone, essentially. Or, maybe she loses one of the things of her power set. Like, little things, or maybe, like, misfortune on the battlefield. Like, little things like that I kind of find that fun, because, like, I like the idea of Greek gods being very petty, and this god of war being like, no, you're supposed to slaughter your enemies. You're supposed to be might is right. What are you, Cassandra? I love you. You're my favorite daughter. but what are you doing? Like he is the asshat dad, that wants her to be good at sports, which is beating the shit out of people. Like, he doesn't care if you do, like, it's like, Cassandra, I don't care, Cassie, look, I don't care if you're beating up the good guys, the bad guys. There is no good or bad guy. There is no good guys, there is no bad guys, and there is no Queen of England. Like, he just cares, like, I want you to dominate. I want you to be the champion. And, yeah. Yeah, so I like the idea of him being very mixed and very petty. Very, very mixed bag. So we got sort of our allies or reoccurring characters, and I want to go through a rogues gallery. I want to sort of pitch possible antagonists for, maybe big antagonists for some of our individuals here, right? So first off, we got this great PNG here. Pan just straight up been stacking the queen lately. Yeah? And what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? What, you're gonna say that dissing a monarch who encouraged imperialism and lobbied for anti-LGBT rights stuff is not something to dunk on? Alright, you're saying it's not worth it? Anyway, so here's sort of a rogues gallery of some sort of antagonist I'm seeing for the specific type, for like some of the characters. Nothing, I'm not even American. Dude, I'm not even British! Alright, but yeah, so I was thinking, you know, I don't think I want a lot of, like, the traditional Batman villains to be sort of in Jason's register, right? Because I feel like, you know, I could have the Joker, but, like, the Joker's, like, a short-term villain, right? Like, that's something to test Jason to see if he's willing to kill again, or if he's willing to, you know, be more heroic and try to fight off his urges and deliver more justice as opposed to malice. And give up the vibe of being British. Oh, buddy. That's because I'm a fancy wizard. I am very not British. But yeah, so I thought of Black Mask, because that's a character I see a lot in modern sort of Batman-esque rogues gallery. I don't know, I feel like I'd have fun trying to explore a Black Mask character. So Black Mask is essentially an arms dealer that basically is a kingpin for most of the eastern seaboard. And because he's an arms dealer, Jason has a lot of ties with Black Mask, rather directly or indirectly. Mostly from getting a lot of good firearms from him, and a lot of those firearms not being paid for, most likely being stolen. So, as such, Black Mask is very much sending a price on Jason's head. I feel like he'd be sort of one of our first major antagonists, being one of the types that's not so much that he is dangerous, but more so he has money, and he can afford a lot of mercenaries or supervillains to go after our team here. So, say he could pay for, like, you know, getting a hive, like the Mammoth, or, you know, some of the more classic Teen Titan-like villains. Like, you're sort of like, fuck, I want Killer Moth today. Black Mask hired Killer Moth to hunt them down, right? Like, that's the kind of shit that I really like the idea of, like, more mercenary villains. Could be because of Black Mask with the motivation of, I want my fucking money back from the shit you stole, you asshole. I want your red mask, you asshat. And yeah. A memory unlocked. What memory did you unlock, Hal? While you unlock a memory, I am briefly gonna take a little bathroom break. So I'm just gonna turn interwebs off and have the loading screen happen. So I'll be right back soon. Oak ducks. Oh fuck, I see the memory unlocked. It's a big memory, it seems. Let's see. Excuse me. When I was in school, the Queen was coming to Aruba, and the teachers tried selling this, like, kids, you're all gonna do dance and song. Just think, when you have kids, you could say you dance for the Queen. Oh. And I was like, fuck yeah, that... I was like, yeah, fuck that, and didn't show up to school that day. Not just met everyone downtown where the Queen was. Apparently, I was the only one who didn't dance for her. Oh, remember that. Yeah, you should. You should. Because, I don't know, I feel like there's something kind of fucked up about, you know, the Queen who has a country that has colonized a majority of the world. Like, there's only a handful of countries that was not taken over by Britain. To do a little song and dance just for her? I don't know. I think you should be proud. Anyway, what of our next villains is, of course, going to be Trigon. Actually, Satan. He's the dad of the year who wants to continuously escape from, the little gem on his little daughter's head. Essentially, he's going to be the way we get more supernatural more demonic and supernatural threats involved. Essentially, he'll try to summon demons. I'm thinking specifically the ones from the Solomon Key, that's right, our local demons, President Amy and Stolas the Owl Prince are included in those kinds of demons, which I think would be fun. It'd be a cool way to sort of have like a theme. The demons that can show up every now and then. Maybe they can give other people power, like the cults. And I feel like he'd be sort of the devil on not only a mastermind figure to be a way to get a variety of antagonists out, but also be a force that is continuously present for Raven and be able and try to be like, hey, not only to let him free, but maybe to let her borrow some of his power, letting him essentially give him a bit of control for a massive boost of energy, having Raven to have to struggle to maintain her dominant, her sort of prison over her father, or else may he grow too powerful. But I didn't mean the Queen of... Oh, you meant the Queen of Holland. Oh. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know Holland. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, Trigon, simply just demon dad, wants to have the occasional cults after Raven, and funny demons that I get to use. That's right, I could have bureaucracy flaming president fight my misfits. As for Blue Beetle, a lot of his main antagonist is going to be the Scarabs. I just think it'd be, I saw Young Justice. I like the idea of Scarab invasion and having other Scarabs being sort of sleeper agents or people who want to colonize worlds for like their massive hive. I do like the idea that a lot of them are perhaps sleeper agents, that perhaps Jaime is more of an exception, like the fact that his is more active and is a bit more present instead of just being in waiting for when the hive appears to sort of awaken them and a lot of other soldiers. Maybe the Scarab was sent to Earth by accident, like it wasn't intended to. Like maybe they were supposed to be sent to Mars, because Mars is very populated in the DC setting, and one went rogue and ended up here, and that's why it's different. So maybe they do some shit on Mars and realize like, hey, we have a Scarab on Earth. Should we perhaps start infesting there? And as such, oh god, I really need to hydrate. As such, I really like the idea of maybe some civilians suddenly having Scarab-like suits and everything that would come out and try to hunt people down, and sort of be like the idea that Jaime has to be an exception and protect people from the same thing that he has to fight off every day. Now, this is more of a concept for an antagonist for Jessica. I'm thinking we're definitely gonna have a Yellow Lantern rep here, because essentially what a Yellow Lantern is, they are sort of a counterpart to the Green Lantern. The Yellow Lantern is essentially someone who takes up a ring, and they have this ring because they are the ones who inflict the most fear upon people. So I kind of like this idea of whoever had the yellow ring is in the same sector. So they could be human, they could be Martian, they could really be anything pretty flexible. If we wanted to have another human, or if we wanted to be someone a bit more space related. I like the idea of this person being a parallel to Jessica, and since they have a lot of mental issues, but not like in a I'm the Joker, baby, I'm crazy, I'm insane, but more so in the way that they're more insecure and afraid of themselves, and as such it projects outward. Like, they have similar fears that make them not want to get up in the morning, or I have to sneeze. But like, the kind of person who instead of tries to deal with their own trauma or anxieties, simply just inflicts them onto others, projecting outward. Oh my god, you know, my brain is just thinking, oh, you know, it'd be really funny if the Yellow Lantern here was just like some Heathers, just some like white, like a rich white bully girl. That could be fun. That could be fun. I don't know. That's just the concept I have for a general antagonist. I think it would be fun parallels. And who knows? Maybe this one could be redeemed, I think. Because, you know, I think it's cool to have an occasional redeemed hero every now and then. Or at least someone who could potentially go into a path of redemption. You know? Lastly, hello, this is my original OC. Alpha Athenian. So, Alpha over here is the counterpart to Cassandra. He too is a demigod, but of Athena, the other god of war. And I don't think I quite wrote it right here, but I'm going to try and articulate it better. So, here's the vibe of Alpha, right? Alpha is... he is a demigod of victory. Oh god, he's making a superhero sitcom! You caught me! You caught me dead in my tracks, hell! You know how I write things. Of course there's gonna be... You're saying this as if I would not have sitcom-like chapters? You're saying this as if I would not have a Soul Eater chapter where it's all about the big exam coming up? Which is one of my favorite Soul Eater chapters, by the way, where it's just everyone how they deal with a midterm, and how they all fuck up royally, except Maka, because she deserves better. But yeah, Alpha Athenian is the demigod of Athena. He is a parallel god of war, and once he learns about he is of divinity, and he has these connections to the gods, he comes up with the idea that he is under the guise of the goddess of war and victory. So as such, Alpha will wish to seek glory. He will seek to be accepted in Olympia through taking out other demigods and prove that he is the superior, he is the one who wins. He is the soon-to-be god of victory. I'm gonna blow my nose. But, yeah. I wrote here that he was stoic and cold, but But I think the real way how I would really want to describe it is that he is the type of person who believes emotions are weakness, but he in fact is very emotional, despite the fact that he claims not to and appears stoic. Alpha is very much that type of antagonist that I adore, where they try so hard to seem otherworldly and above themselves. Like, I am above you, I do not fall for such petty tricks. But the moment you get them to act on their desires, they start being very emotional, actually. Like, he has this firm belief that he is the one who deserves the right of the Athenians' attention, that he should be up there with Olympus like the other gods, because he comes from a place of victory. It is his blood right, and he wants to prove it. He doesn't want to just, like, snipe, like, systematically, like, kill the other demigods. He wants to prove that he can take them out, that he is the strongest demigod, and he will take any means he can when in combat to win. And as such, he could appear as very cold and does not care. He will kill a hostage if it means it'll make you go aggressive. He will not hesitate to do anything that will provoke you or make you make a particular mistake. So he's just a real bastard. He's definitely got super strength. He's got big intelligence because, you know, goddess of wisdom is more about, you know, strategy as opposed to being on the battlefield. And he's good. He's really good with the spear. Because, you know what? I really like seeing pole arms animated. So I like imagining Athena zooping around with a spear. And yeah, I don't know. I think he'd be really cool. We could also have, like, him interacting with other demigods just to, like, have, like, an edge. Like, sort of that idea of, I have an alliance for you now. So, I know your weaknesses. I know how I can exploit you. And this will also make taking care of other demigods significantly easier. And I feel like, unlike Cassandra, I don't feel like Alpha has any connection with Athena. I don't think he has any, like, dreams or epiphanies where he's able to connect with his, like, parental god. There is no connection. And I feel like once he learns Cassandra has that, that's when you really will start honing in on trying to kill her. So, yeah. So, I'll be honest, this is pretty much all I got. I was thinking, like, let me talk about what kind of characters I wanted, what would I like from them, what kind of allies would I like to see with them, and some cool antagonists I think would be fun to have as something to mix things up. Because I think one thing that's really good with, like, a lot of boss characters like these are just, like, the major antagonists for each respective character, not necessarily the only one. Because, of course, with, like, say, Athenian, we could always have other demigods or any other Greek monster or mythological creature. With Yellow Lantern, we could have an entire corps or any other sort of alien warfare. Same with the Scarab. It could be any alien that may be aware of the Scarab that could go after Blue Beetle. With Trigon, we have, like, a whole array of demons we could have, or cultists, any kind of following. And with Black Mask, that could be our any standard, like, what we think of a traditional supervillain. Could be just hired by Black Mask and just simply trying to get to him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, my brain is kind of stopped now because I ran out of slides. I have a cold. My throat's trying to catch up with me, and I'm getting a headache. So, thinking to make a good call. Tended a bit earlier than we usually do. But this was still really fun for me. It was a little different, and who knows? Maybe this will actually make me want to write something. Because I know sometimes I have ideas. They come and go, but it's it's different when you write something down and make it maybe possible that you write more. There we go. So tonight I'm gonna support Azaria Ogoro because she is finishing up her Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Grass type only run. So we're gonna give her some support and hope that she could beat through the Elite Four, because I sure do know Grass types, Glacia and Steven, are gonna be pretty tricky. So why don't we support her with that affair? Syria. Let me double check if I have the spelling right. Azria Or. Wait. Okay, hold up. Hold up, literacy. Okay. Alright. Damn it! I can spell. I said lying. Did I spell Zaria wrong? I did. There we go. Alright, so thank you for anyone who came by, whether past, present, or future. I hope you have a nice day or evening and have something nice to look back on. Until then, I'll wish you a bye-bye. If you're still watching this, I hope you drink plenty of water, but you don't drown. I hear that's very bad for your health. Alright, bye-bye.